Welcome back, you no good bastards, to the Pod Deep Podcast. Be very quiet. Kick back. Listen up. Subscribe, comment, and like. Pod Deep Podcast. Pod Deep.
Welcome back to the Pod Deep Podcast. You boys are here. Sid, Hughes, Rod, Jay. How you boys feeling today?
Doing good.
Feeling good. I'm straight.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead, like, follow, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. The Pod Deep Podcast show. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one kicked off, boys. I'm going to start off with the question of the day. All right. Follow me on this one. Your daughter is one of the best swimmers in the United States. Her final race will get her into the Olympics. She'll make the Olympic team if she wins her final race. You find out her final race will take place against a transgender athlete. So an athlete that was born a man, but now lives as a girl. On top of that, this transgender athlete is the girl of your best friend. Okay? You guys follow me?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think so.
And just a side note, normally years past when this transgender athlete competed as a boy, she was pretty average. But now when she starts to compete as a girl, she's been pretty good. Top 1, 2, 3 in the state. Okay. All right. Your daughter's kind of nervous, but it comes down to this. She wins, she's in the Olympics. She loses, she's not in the Olympics. But on top of that, you have the opportunity to contest this race. If you contest this race, nobody makes the Olympic team this year. However, your daughter next year will have a 40% chance to make it in 4 years. If you don't contest this race and you just let them race, the winner, of course, makes the Olympics. The loser won't ever get into the Olympics again. All right. Everybody got it?
I think so.
Yep. Everybody got it. All right. Daughter, just a quick recap. Daughter's an Olympic swimmer. One race to get to an Olympics. She's facing a transgender athlete, which is your best friend's daughter. She races, she wins, she's in. She races, she loses, she's out. You can compete, you can contest this race. However, there's a 40% chance that she won't make it next year, make it in the next 4 years if you contest this race and nobody makes the Olympics. All right. I know there was a lot to it, a lot of moving parts. Jared, I'm going to start with you on this one.
This is a tough one. I don't know if there is a right answer. So I'm going to go with, let's see if my daughter can beat the transgender athlete. Maybe she'll pull it out. Maybe she's just better than the other athlete, even though technically the other athlete is a male. So I would probably let them race and see what the outcome is. So yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. Squeak, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not going to intervene. You know, I believe in my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I got her back. I got five on the, like Aunt say. You know, I got five on whatever. You know, male, female, whoever it is, my baby can beat them. So I'm a, you know, let the chips fall where they fall, where they may. I'm just gonna I'll let her go head up with them.
Okay.
I'm contesting. Period.
Reason? Any reason?
It's an unfair advantage.
Unfair advantage. Okay.
You know, let the man. You know, you got him. She racing a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, as good as Serena Williams is, she's the greatest female tennis player of all time. She would struggle against a good male tennis player. Now, you know, a mediocre one, yeah, she probably would smoke them, but a good tennis player, she would have a hard time beating them.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it. I look at this scenario in the same way. Like, nah, I'm contesting it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, damn our friendship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was the other part I was going to play on it, guys. This, and I'll give my answer here in a second. But for Hughes and Jared, did it matter that the person that she's going against, you have a relationship with that person's parent, like a best friend? Did that even play into anything to just let them race?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you've known the kid, you know, before they were born and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's not combat. You know, this is like swimming. My daughter got a real good chance of beating him because when it comes to like swimming or, I'm even say racing, some people just got it, some people don't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of females out there that can smoke me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In my heyday, you know, I got some cousins that probably could have, you know, female.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't think your gender is has an advantage in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to this combat, yeah, I don't want my daughter, you know, boxing against no, you know what I'm saying, transgender, you know.
Jared, did it matter that you had a relationship with the parent?
No, not to me. I didn't even think about it, before I answered. So, no. The only thing that makes me say let them compete is because my kid would have to wait 4 years to get another chance to even compete. So I'm like, okay, let's just take this shot now, and see if she can pull it out.
Mm-hmm. So when I thought about this, guys, I really thought about the competitiveness of it. Like just looking at it straight raw. I wouldn't want my daughter to compete. I think it is unfair. I think it's an unfair advantage. Males swimming with females. They're just bigger, stronger, faster normally. But I also wanted to see, and I wanted to make it on like a high school level versus a grown up person level, because I guess you would be I think in my eyes, they may be a little closer in competitiveness at that age versus as they got older and more mature. They got a little bit, the gap got wider. But I think I'm with Rodney on this, man. I just think it needs to be fair. I think it needs to be fair. I would hate all the hard work. And here's the other part. I would hate all the hard work that my daughter has put in to get to this point to not let her compete. But that's an unfair competition in my mind. One other thing I thought was, could I just let her make the decision? Put the facts on the table and say, hey, it's on you. Mm-hmm. What you want to do?
I mean, when you put it in those terms, the kid, they're gonna say, fuck it, I can beat him.
Mm-hmm.
That they're gonna take that perspective of it. I don't care if it's a man or woman, I'll beat him. But you as the parent,
mm-hmm.
Or I should say me as a parent, I see it otherwise. Like no, that transgender, that former man has a clear advantage over everyone in the field.
You swimming though? In swimming?
Hell fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You pick let's put Michael Phelps with some titties and put him in the water with some women. He gonna smoke them. It ain't gonna even be close.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. Like, where's the advantage coming in? I think about gymnastics. Like, if you flip this question to gymnastics, and I wouldn't be fearful of my daughter going against a transgender in gymnastics.
Well, see, that's different because you're actually getting scored in gymnastics. You're getting scores. It's not about how fast you do something.
Yeah, I think the water, like
it's a clear advantage though when male against female. It's just times, just split, just look at the times they finish things in. It's just a clear advantage that males do it a lot better. And I pulled this actual question from, there's a real life scenario that went on in a college about this guy who was transgender, and he became in his women's division, he became one of the best swimmers in the division. Like, he went from a very, very mediocre men's swimmer to the top women's swimmer. And that's kind of where I pulled this from. And I just thought, running past you guys, see what you thought on it. But so it looks like we split. We're saying, Hughes, Jay, you'll go ahead and let your daughter compete. Rodney and I.
That changes the scenario now.
Okay.
The real life scenario versus the deep thought question. Because from the deep thought question, it was as if he was mediocre from the male standpoint. But then as he came over to the girls, I didn't know where he ranked at. If he was like the best in the nation, like my daughter would be. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But in that real life scenario, yeah, I would have a problem with that, seeing that I watched that dude compete. You know what I'm saying? And since he flipped it over, now he's a new improved athlete.
Mm-hmm. No, in the scenario, I tried to mention that he was kind of a bottom top, like not average. He was average. He was average. He wasn't great, but now as he moves to the female, he's become a top swimmer.
Okay.
So that was part of the scenario.
Okay.
That's part of the scenario. Still keep your answer. Still your answer stays the same though.
Yeah, knowing my child, she would let me just. You don't believe I could do it, Dad? For that. I roll with that,
Cool. Yeah. All right, split. We need Ant here to break the tie, but I could probably figure out what he'll be talking about right now. All right, boys. That's a deep talk question of the week. All right. So Grammys just passed a few weeks ago, man, and I wanted to kind of concentrate on these rap categories. You two, you music guys, y'all gotta enlighten me. What am I missing? So Kendrick wins for best rap song. He wins for best rap performance. The song called "The Heart Part 5."
Mm-hmm.
Man, I done listened to this song several times. I just don't get it. You boys need to enlighten your boy. What am I missing? First of all, what makes this song so great? What am I missing?
It's a Marvin Gaye sample. One.
Okay.
Great video, great concept video where he uses his face and put Kanye, Bill Cosby, Nipsey. I think I may miss somebody else as well. Just a very innovative video.
But song, no, not a visual for it. It's the song. It's the song.
I don't know if I heard that song played a lot on the radio.
I don't think I've ever heard it on the radio. I'm like, what is this song?
It's the wrong song. It's very creative. It's probably the most creative rap song, out that year. Just him rapping from the point of view, like he said, of Kobe, Cosby, Nipsey.
That's what it was.
In the video. But like you said, it was the song, not the video or the performance. I think it probably was a wrong song to win that award. So I can't even argue with you on how you feeling about it. I think it was the wrong song. I didn't expect that song to win. Good song, but since the album came out, I never went back to listen to that song. So I can't even argue with you. I think it's the wrong song.
Yeah, and I think that was the lead off. That was the lead off single for the album, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and it's not even on the album.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's not even on the album.
It's not on the album. I thought I heard it on the album.
It's not on there.
Oh wow.
Hey, Grammys are normally notorious for getting things wrong. I just couldn't. I've downloaded this song just to see what I was missing, man, and I just don't get it. But maybe I do. Squeak, need to listen to, see the video, see the visual for it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I get a little bit better understanding. Now it also won for best rap performance as well. Like I don't even get. Is that what you're thinking he's talking about?
I never seen him perform that song.
Jared, did he perform it when you went to see him live?
No, he didn't perform it. Maybe they're talking about the video.
Okay.
The video. But no, he didn't perform it live. I don't think they give live performance Grammys. I could be wrong. So I think they're talking about the video.
Really? It says, he won for best rap performance, best rap song. And then this dude he just clean swept it. Best rap album. Now
I didn't agree with that part. I thought he had a good album, you know what I'm saying? But
did you think it was the best of the year?
Nah.
Who's better?
Do the Grammys matter? That's a question.
Good question, right? I don't think they matter. I don't think they matter.
No,
However,
they matter. They matter.
To who?
It mattered to your rap peers. If you're a rapper, like one of my favorite raps is Snoop, right? He's never won a Grammy.
So why would that? So if he's never won one, but yet he's considered one of the greatest rappers, how does the Grammys matter then?
Because it's one of the oldest awards, music awards out there. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Michael Jackson, Prince, and Marvin Gaye winning Grammys, you want to be in that mix if you're a rapper there. You know what I'm saying? When it was my time, I put it down. I won several Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
But hip hop has always been marginalized when it comes to the Grammys. Now, you talk about R&B, yeah. As a singer, yeah, the Grammys do mean something. But to me, as a hip hop, if you win a Grammy, you don't win a Grammy. To me, what difference do it make? Because you can be hot. How many Grammys did Tupac win?
That's a great point because you listen to today's generation say that he was the best rapper ever. I don't even know if he was even nominated for any Grammys. Yeah, he was. Coolio won. Maybe that was American Music Awards, but I know either the American Music Awards or the Grammys. Coolio beat him out.
But in order to be considered great, do you got to get one? Because a lot of the people,
I don't think so.
I would say Pac and Biggie, because of the time that they was here on Earth, they just didn't have a time to do it. But I think everybody who we consider a great has got some kind of writing credit for a Grammy, a performing credit, or something. They have a Grammy.
When you think about Jay-Z being one of the best lyricists, but he didn't sell the most albums, but still win the Grammy, that says a lot. He has, out of the rappers, I think he has the most Grammys wins. 12 or better, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With Will Smith being the first hip hop artist to ever win a Grammy. So yeah, I think if you get nominated, you're gonna want them praises. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if you don't, you're gonna take the high road on some. Yeah, it don't matter. But if you putting out rap on albums and stuff like that, you want that acknowledgement.
Yeah, I think they do matter. First of all, I think the Grammy show this year was pretty good. Um, I watched it. I enjoyed, pretty much the whole show. It was interesting. I haven't watched it in a long time, but
Mhm.
it was something to see. I think it matters as long as the artist keeps showing up. I think what Hughes is alluding to, as long as the artist keeps showing up to perform and accept these Grammys and campaign and go through the whole nomination process, as long as they keep doing it, I think the Grammys still matter.
You know,
And
when I think about the Grammys and I think about Nipsey being nominated for a Grammy, but Cardi B won it, right? And his response was that, he took the high road, like, man, we here, you know what I'm saying? His album didn't get a lot of shine, but for the Grammys to acknowledge him, you know what I'm saying? And he come to the Grammys with his, I think it came with his daughter, his mother, his family. You know what I'm saying? Like that picture, that's probably one of the dopest pictures I've seen him do. You know what I'm saying? His red carpet photo for the Grammys, just how he was suited and booted, had his daughter, suited and booted and stuff. So yeah, if you get nominated, you're gonna want that. You know what I'm saying? Him and Cardi happened to get nominated in the same year. She the reality rap queen that put out that album. And here's the street guy who left the major label and went the independent route, 50-50 deal with Atlantic and his imprint, so yeah, it matters. It definitely matters, I think.
So, best couple of our guys are in for best rap album. That Pusha T album is a better album than this Kendrick Lamar album. Would you agree?
No.
Here's so to me, Kendrick is doing what Tupac would have done, but on a bigger scale. So at this point of his career, when you reach for the conscious side of things, that's like a hip hop no. You don't do that because that really doesn't sell. But he's putting the content out there like that. So you got to commend him and J. Cole. They do that. They don't get that radio push, but when it comes to the tours, their fans show up. They show up. They show up. They support. They get nominated. You know what I'm saying? It says a lot that when you can go outside the radio and still get nominated, you know what I'm saying, win awards and get your acknowledgement. That says a lot, because artists before him that came out that conscious lane, they didn't get that publicity like that. They didn't get those type of acknowledgments and stuff.
But that's a Grammy though. I mean, that's
the top. That's the creme de la creme.
That's a Grammy. It's artistic more than favorable to your listening. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's super artistic. So I would see he's a Grammy. He's a Grammy artist because what he's saying, he's always saying something, which I get, and I don't have a problem with that. But to win best rap song, I don't coincide with anything for.
I agree.
Man, a song, a melodic song. I just think it was just way out of bounds, man. Way out of bounds.
But one of the mysteries is that who's on the voting panel when it comes to Grammys. That's never been revealed. Like some people speak up on being on the the voting panel, but we never knew that. I think as a kid looking back on Michael Jackson, they set him up like in the front row and he didn't win shit. I remember feeling like, damn, Michael Jackson ain't winning nothing. But that's the Grammys though. They will embarrass your ass like that.
Hey, anybody feel bad for DJ Khaled? That's a joke.
No. God did. Nah. You made a good point, Jared. That 50 hip hop performance, man, that was a good tribute. I would have liked to see more artists, but that was a good tribute.
Yeah. I heard they worked that out to where he I think what's the guy who did it?
Questlove.
Yeah, Questlove originally he wanted 50 hip hop artists to do it. That was his original plan, to have 50, but they kept, breaking it down. What it ended up being 11, something like that. Ended up doing it.
It could have been more than 11. It was a ton of people.
11 acts or something like that.
It was a ton of people.
But on that with that whole hip hop 50, what do y'all feel about Scarface? That whole thing with him not asking the Ghetto Boys. What's your thought on that?
Let Rodney go first.
What you
Come
say
off
on
mute,
that, Hot
Rodney.
Rod?
Yeah, come off mute.
So
Hey, this is
let me recap until he gets back on. So Scarface appeared on the Grammys 50th year of hip hop anniversary tribute on the Grammys. Scarface showed up. He did 4 bars, I believe. I don't know how many seconds or of that of the verse. My mind's playing tricks on me. Okay, fast forward. Scarface gets back to his Ghetto Boys podcast with his partner Willie D. And Willie D confronts him, live on the podcast, and just basically says, what's up with that? Why come you did a Ghetto Boy song? You didn't even tell me you were performing. This is something we discussed last week on episode 33, if you guys want to go back and listen. But, that's the gist of what happened. So, Rodney, what's your take on this Scarface Ghetto Boys situation?
Oh, we doing that again?
Yeah.
I missed
What I
it.
say? I went with Scarface. Yeah, I went with Scarface.
Okay.
I go next. I said Scarface was wrong. He should have reached out to Willie D. In the perfect world, they both rap Bushwick Bill's verse.
Okay. All right. My
But
bad. I missed the last pod, so I missed talking about that. I'm glad to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
didn't get a
I
chance.
just like I just took it, at face value. He said he got the call. He didn't know until he got there, what they was gonna do. I mean, what song he was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and perform. Shit. Willie D just mad. I mean, like I said, like Willie D, he talking out of both sides of his mouth to me because he's saying fuck the Grammys, fuck them for margin, for trying to fit 50 years of hip hop into 14 minutes. You can't fit 50 years of hip hop in such a short time. If it was one of those other genres, you would dedicate a whole show to it. Fuck the Grammys. But then he mad because he didn't get the call. So which one is it?
I got you.
Hey, we all got our slots and roles in life. Scarface is considered one of the top rappers of all time. Willie D ain't. He ain't getting that call. He never gonna get that call. Scarface got the call.
Okay.
Hey, let me add a little context to that. Ice-T is talking about, the behind the scenes, how the process work. So basically, they got a tape of the music, so they knew what they were going to perform and where in the lineup. So they got a call. They said, "Hey, we want you to perform. Here's how it's going to sound." So Ice-T knew he was coming behind whoever he came behind. He knew the song that he was going. They told him the song he was going to do and how long of the song he was going to do. So my issue with Scarface is when they called him, Scarface said he got the call on Wednesday. To me, they told him, "Hey, we want you to come out and do this much of My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me." Scarface is sitting across from Willie D doing their podcast. Willie D says, "Hey, what you doing this weekend?" Scarface says, "I'm going to the Grammys." He never says that he's going to perform on the Grammys. Let alone he never told him he was going to perform part of My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. And so that's the issue Willie D had with him. If we are rap partners, we've been together for 30 years plus. Why wouldn't you tell me you're performing on the Grammys and you're performing on a song that I co-wrote? Why wouldn't you fight to get me, or at least ask, if I can be involved, or see if I want to be involved? And I don't agree with that. I think that's 100% wrong.
I totally agree.
Okay. All right. Cool. Just to put a bow on the Grammys. Good. Jared, you said it was one of the good shows, one of the better ones you've ever seen.
Yeah,
Everybody pretty much agree with that?
We didn't touch on Trevor Noah. He did a good job. He was taking jabs at people, but it was light. It wasn't disrespectful. And he was funny throughout the night. So, yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, nobody got smacked.
I think it was good. I didn't watch it live, but I got a chance to watch it tape. So I thought overall it was a good job. I thought it was entertaining. It's funny though how you are when you're adult from a kid, where now you've heard a lot of the music like on just stuff from just being everyday versus when I was a kid, I didn't have an idea if it wasn't rap. I didn't have an idea what was going on with the whole show. But it's funny now. So much music is so much universal now. You can hear stuff and you can see people and you understand, oh man, it's just a whole big thing. So I thought it was an overall good job done by the Grammys. I'll watch it again, I think.
It was a good show.
I ain't watch it.
You gonna watch? Did you watch the clips on the 50th?
No,
The Hip Hop 50?
no,
Then watch it.
no, I didn't.
All right, boys. Moving right along. So we had some boxing. Boxing today, actually. Jake Paul fought Tommy Fury today in Dubai. A Sunday showdown today, a Sunday matinee. Jake Paul loses a split decision to Tommy Fury. First of all, everybody get a chance to take a look at it?
Yeah, that's all right.
I didn't see it.
Perfect. Hey, Squeak, you started off. What was your thoughts on the fight?
It was entertaining. Both of them kind of gassed out. Late knockdown. I kind of thought Jake was gonna get the decision. So I was really shocked that he lost a split decision. You know, Tommy kind of impressed me a little bit. You know, neither guy seemed scared of each other. And that's one thing about it. You know, prior to Jake fighting Anderson Silva, everybody he's fought, he's been bigger than. So this is probably one of the opponents that was kind of youthful, had the size that Jake has, that was able to match him and stuff like that. I could see them having a rematch. You know what I'm saying? I think it was entertaining enough. You know, so you know this is probably good for Jake career. You know, like a little controversy sells. You know what I'm saying? It was a split decision, so I can see them running it back and get more money. You know, it was entertaining.
Yeah, what do you think?
Jake Paul gassed out. I think to me he got a little bit exposed. He kept ducking his head down. I think he's ripe to get knocked out by a better boxer. He looked totally just. He said he was sick before. You know, you can't really have excuses after the fight, but he did look like maybe his conditioning wasn't right. I couldn't tell. Do you guys know if that fight was outdoors or was it indoors?
I couldn't tell.
Look,
sometimes they do outdoors in Dubai. So, you know, it's super hot out in that desert. So I thought maybe that affected him. But he just looked gassed out. He looks like he's very beatable now when he fights a better boxer. But it was an entertaining fight. I liked Sean Porter calling the fight. You can tell they were pro Jake Paul.
Yep.
On the commentary. But with that knockdown, I thought he did enough to at least win by one round or possibly get a draw. So I was a little surprised when Fury won by such a big margin on one of the judges' cards. I think it was 76 to 73.
Yeah,
I think two cards, I believe.
Because normally to get knocked down and win like a split decision, you really got to dominate, and I didn't see neither one of them guys dominating. So I was really shocked by the decision.
It's an ugly fight, man. It was just an ugly fight. It looked like a real amateur fight. You know,
a lot of holding. Yep.
The whole fight was just hit, holding, separate. I mean, it was just that's a bad fight. It wasn't visually good at all. I do think if Jake Paul fights somebody that's really got some ring experience, gonna murder him. I mean, I didn't think. I think it was just a bad look. You know, his first fight with a real fighter, and it just, you know, it was just kind of lame. He said he had a rematch clause, and it was funny that he has a rematch clause in his contract, but if Tommy Fury would have lost, Tommy Fury didn't have a rematch clause in his fight. Hey, Jake Paul, man, he's a great white hype, man.
He is.
Eddie Gray White hype. He a machine. They trying to push this dude to do more than what he is. Y'all don't think he done though?
No. I mean, you got to look at it. Yesterday, Floyd Mayweather had a fight. I think it was only 20,000 people showed up.
Really?
Jake Paul had a fight today. He had way more than that.
Yeah.
You know, that says a lot. You know, you're not getting hurt. You're making money. You're putting people in seats. So yeah.
You think he's gonna continue to get people to buy?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but the big cash cow is when he finds the right boxer that he can, cash out with, like a Canelo.
No.
He ain't gonna win.
He's not on that
Why
level.
would Canelo fight? Why would Canelo fight Jake Paul?
Because for the same reason Mayweather and Conor McGregor fought.
But Conor McGregor was actual. I mean, I know he wasn't a boxer, but he's an actual MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jake Paul isn't. I mean, even though he's doing it, but he's not that.
When you pick an opponent, if they can put the people in the seat, it's good business.
Jake Paul is signed to fight in MMA also, so he can go MMA next. He doesn't have to go boxing, to keep making money.
Oh yeah, it'll be a wrap for him in MMA.
It's gonna be a wrap for him in boxing if he can fight the right person.
Yeah, that's the if though. He won't.
Right.
Yeah, he won't.
He'll continue to keep fighting these dudes that he could beat.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that advantage like that in MMA. That's the real good difference between them two. You don't get to play MMA like you kind of play like boxing and stuff. You get put in a submission, it's a wrap for you.
No, man, it's just a slow, a slow flight, a slow flight that I was just like, man, this dude, he's at the end of his rope. I think he done got the milk the most he could out of this whole fight thing. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
I mean, but haven't we just seen it coming more and more though?
I thought, he shocked me with Anderson Silva when he took Anderson Silva down. I was thinking, oh, maybe it shocked me though. It really shocked me.
Mm.
But
he's either knocked the opponent out or knocked him down.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen him get hit with a clean shot yet? Like, have you seen Jake get hit with a real good shot yet?
Oh boy, down there knocked him down.
Woodley.
Woodley.
Yeah.
Willie had him. Yeah. Willie had him hurt.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. You're right.
That's why I said he could do something in the rematch because I thought Willie was going to beat him in the rematch. And we all know how that went.
Yeah. God, man. All right, moving on. More boxing news. The big fight was supposed to be the fight of the year has been confirmed. Tank against Ryan Garcia. Now, this one should go down as a fight of this year, right? This, these guys been talking, yapping. They both got good talk game. What y'all feeling about this? What you think? It's gonna be the fight of the year, number one, and who gonna win?
Hey, first of all, has it been confirmed for real this time?
I thought they had a date of April 23rd.
April 22nd, 23rd, something like that.
22nd. April
22nd.
Okay.
I think it's been confirmed. Yep.
Yeah, it's official.
Yep.
I'll wait for the press conference to see if it's really official.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a good fight. I would favor Tank. I don't know if it's going to be fight of the year, but so far, if it takes place, it would be. You have Caleb Plant and David Benavidez that's scheduled to fight in March. So I think that's a better fight. But for Tank and Ryan,
You think that's a bigger fight than this one?
Yeah, for boxing fans, not outsiders, but for boxing fans, hardcore boxing fans.
Caleb versus who? Benavidez.
Yeah.
But that's what but it's the non-hardcore boxing fans is who you want. That's who you want to bring in because hardcore boxing fans are going to watch boxing regardless. But you want to bring in that outside those on the fringe boxing fans. You want to bring them in, and to me, Caleb Plant and who you say
David Benavidez.
that ain't getting it.
I'm telling you.
But Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, that's gonna bring some extra eyeballs that wouldn't normally watch a boxing match.
Yeah.
To me.
To your point, Rodney. I'm a Friends boxing fan, and I know exactly what you're saying. I know Tank and Ryan Garcia. I do know Caleb Plant, but I don't know Ben Benitez. But
yeah, I think that's going to be the big. And to be fair, I don't know much about this Garcia cat, but from what I hear, he's pretty good. But I don't think you can have a better fight outside of Spence and a bigger fight outside of Spence and Crawford which won't happen this year. So yeah, I think this will probably be the biggest fight of this year.
Jared, you got some thoughts on it?
I see that it's official. I see Showtime put out the poster. April 22nd is the date. So I believe it's going to happen. But like he said, when you got to go past the press conference, you got to go down to the weigh-ins because Tank still has a legal case over his head. And if that goes wrong, they probably, will have to reschedule.
But all of that's after, like, that's in May. Like all of those court proceedings.
Oh, that's after this fight?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Okay. No, I was asking. Okay. Yeah. All right. So they fight, then he has to deal with it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the fight of the year. If you don't get Earl versus Crawford this year, this is easily the fight of the year. There's nobody left. It's only Tank, Earl, and Crawford. Yeah.
Right.
You don't think Thurman and Earl would be a bigger fight than Tank and Garcia?
Nobody wants one-time Thurman and Earl.
What about Haney versus Lomachenko?
That's a good fight.
That's a good one.
Good fight. Not bigger than Tank Garcia.
Tank the biggest name is Tank the biggest name? Is he the biggest name in boxing right now?
Outside of Canelo, outside of Spence, he's there because he sells out shows from city to city. Being that he's from Baltimore, but he sells out like, Brooklyn Arena, Atlanta Arena, his hometown arena. Yeah, do the big name.
Mm-hmm. Anybody think Ryan Garcia got a chance?
Everybody got a punch chance.
You don't give him a real chance, Squeak?
I think his trainer is going to try to make him not attack Tank. He's going to try to make him utilize his height with his speed. Ryan has a quick left hook. It's awkward too. He throws it with his chin up. Tank just has to see if he could take it and time it. Because once he's able to time it and slip it, I think he can seriously hurt Ryan because Ryan doesn't do a good job of countering, and catching the counter. You know what I'm saying? Which is what Tank can do. He can fight going backwards and fight going forward. You know what I'm saying? And he throw body shots. But Ryan throws body shots as well. So I don't think Ryan is scared of Tank. I don't think he's scared of Devin Haney or anything like that. But I just think he has some flaws with him. He fights.
So does this catch weight favor? Who does this catch weight favor?
It doesn't favor. Well, it's neutral. So Ryan is probably bigger than Tank, and he's probably weighing 140. So coming down 4 pounds, to 136. Both of them won't be dehydrated, so it'll be even. You know what I'm saying? It'll be even. Tank has went up to 140 before. He normally fight 130, 135. So he fought at 140 before. Ryan moved up to 140. So it ain't no advantage there really. You don't drain the fighter, so that's the good thing about it.
I'm worried about Hank. I'm worried about Tank starting slow against a bigger man. That's what I'm worried about. I think he's a slow starter. I think if Ryan just come on and just jump on him quick and not swerving, I think he can get Tank in trouble early. I wouldn't bet money on it, but I think I think he has a chance. I think he has more than a puncher's chance because I think he got some technique. I think he can get in. He's bigger. I think he can get in because Tank gonna start slow. That's what he do. He starts slow. So I think Ryan Garcia can actually take that chance of him starting slow and actually get a win.
So I got a question. I've never seen Ryan Garcia fight. So what should I go look? What fight for him should I go look up and watch to give me a good example? I mean, a good perspective of who he is as a boxer.
He really fought nobody. I'm just being honest.
So there's no fight that you can think of that I can go pull up to watch and just see who Ryan Garcia is.
Nah,
Okay.
when you watch one fight of his, you'll start seeing. When you just Google Ryan Garcia and just start pulling up some fights, his style stays the same. Unlike Tank, who, like I said, he can fight going forward, he can fight going backwards. You know what I'm saying? Tank tries to let his opponents, I guess, press him. And he can press you back. You know what I'm saying? So he played like chess, and he ain't really trying to outbox you. He ain't really trying to, go to the score course, trying to catch you and hurt you. That's his MO. He trying to catch you and hurt you.
What legit fight can you say Tank has fought?
Gamboa, he fought Rolly. Rolly was
You
big.
cannot say Gamboa or Rolly. Those are not legit fighters.
Man,
Gamboa,
Rolly-
we've been watched for 10 years.
Rolly is 135, like the biggest 135 fighter you're gonna ever see. That dude, and he hadn't lost. Rolly is he's a good component, man. He
Who
just had a
has
bad
Rolly
game.
fought?
You said who has he fought?
Nobody.
No, you don't have to fight nobody. You can tell he's a good fighter, Jared.
You just said Garcia hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah, so
Right.
if I was saying that to tell Ronnie that, hey, it's not that his opponent's gonna show you anything. He ain't fought nobody, but he's still a good fighter. Yeah, you can have that in boxing.
Tank hasn't really fought anybody. You can't say Gamboa.
You don't think the dude Garcia that he fought in December or January was good?
Is that
Garcia?
the small Mexican?
He wasn't Mexican.
What's his first name?
There's too
Hector.
many damn Garcias out there.
Yeah, I have to see a picture of him.
Colombia.
No, they don't fight anybody. They fight about 4 or 5 good fights their whole career.
Man, but between Shakur, between Devin Haney, between Ryan Garcia, Tank has fought the more balanced fighters of all those guys.
I'm not
That's
going
what
to
makes
argue.
him. That's what makes him dangerous.
All right.
I think, Riley, to your point or to your question, I don't know if he fought anybody, but everybody he's fought, he's pretty much like killed. I mean, he dominated from what.
Well, I wasn't necessarily looking for a fight against a great opponent. I would just asking if somebody throw out a fight that that would show me who he is. So it wasn't necessarily about was it him fighting a big name guy. It's just I wanted to see if there's one fight that you all could point to, like, yeah, go watch the so and so, watch when he fought so and so. That'll show you who he is. But I'm still gonna look him up because I want to be well versed in Ryan Garcia when this fight comes. I need to watch some Tank too because I watched some of his fights, but he really ain't been on my radar like that. So I need to circle back and see what he all about. I wasn't all that impressed with that last fight
because he hasn't fought anybody. Right. I'm like you. I just went and looked up Garcia highlights to kind of see what was going on. And you said you have a good point. I've been wanting to see Tank fight somebody bigger with skill to see what happens. So now
you didn't see that when he fought Rolly?
No, Rolly is not a good fighter, man.
You didn't see when he moved up to 140 and fought Mario Burris?
I think that's the guy who gave him problems. Right.
That's Burris out with a body shot.
But he was getting problems from him before that, right? I could have these guys wrong, so I have to see, their face.
Yeah, you're right because he wasn't for sure when he stepped up to 140 if he could take the power. So once he realized that he could take, he started putting pressure and catching Mario.
Was that the dude he stopped the body shot?
Yep.
What was his name?
Mario Burrs. That's who Barrios. I'm sorry, Mario Barrios.
Barrios. Okay.
That's who Keith Thurman fought, and him and Keith Thurman went to was it 12 rounds or 10 or 12 rounds?
Okay.
No knockdown. Keith Thurman rocked him, but Devontae stopped him.
All right. Yeah, I was familiar with that fight, and that's the one Tank. I thought that he was starting to get problems because Tank was actually losing rounds in that fight.
Yeah, he was.
He was losing rounds in that fight, and he was just looking for the one, like you said, Squeak. He can start looking for that one to take you out and can start losing rounds by now boxing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, if Ryan Garcia get on him early with that size, he make him wear him down a little bit.
I've been thinking about Isaac Cruz this whole time. That's what I've been thinking about. They kind of gave him problems.
Pitbull.
Yeah, he kind of gave him problems in the beginning.
Yeah, he hurt his hand against Pitbull. It was a good close fight.
So you give Garcia no chance, huh, Squeak?
I ain't say that because it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? I remember how I felt about Roy Jones fighting Antonio Tarver. And it didn't go how I thought it would. You know, boxing is tricky. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he has a puncher chance. He has the size, but I don't think he has the actual skill set. He hasn't been in there with the opponents that Tank has been in there with. I don't think Garcia is like a dog, like I feel Tank is a dog, because that opponent that Jared just brought up, outside Cruz, that cat was on Tank ass. He's more aggressive than Tank ass was. And Tank had to box just to get the decision, you know. And that cat been begging for a rematch.
Mm-hmm. Jay, you ain't give us an answer. Who you think? Who you think? Do you think give him a chance? Do you give him a chance?
Yeah, I give Garcia a chance.
A chance?
Yeah.
But you think Tank will win?
In Vegas. I'm on the fence. Like Rodney, man, I can't call it. I haven't seen a whole lot of I've seen more workout videos of Ryan Garcia than actual fights. So I can't really say how it's going to come out. But yeah, I give him a chance based on what I have seen. And like Hugh said, I don't think he's afraid of him at all. I like the bigger skilled man against Tank. If I had to bet, let me just give a definitive answer. If I had to bet, say $100, I'm putting that $100 on Garcia.
I'll take that bet.
I said if I had to bet.
Oh, okay.
In
Vegas,
but
we February 26th, so we still got a little less than 2 months. So that'll give me time to watch more Garcia and have a more informed opinion in one of our later podcasts.
Perfect. And of course,
say it.
Mm-hmm.
I know this isn't a sports podcast, but I just want to slip this in because I just really want to talk about this Eric Bieniemy thing, man. Okay. He's we talked about him in previous episodes.
Yep.
He takes a job, an OC job. He does a lateral move.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in title, it's a lateral move.
Yep.
To go to Washington and be the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you do that?
Sometimes you got to step back to step forward.
But when you're stepping back as a black man, you ain't taking a step back. You taking 4 or 5 steps back. Because if he goes there and he bonds with Taylor Heineke or Carson Wentz or whoever the fuck the quarterback is, he's never gonna get another opportunity for a head coaching job.
Shit, he didn't get one 2-3 years ago. He just got it.
But at least he's on the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's tied. I mean, to me, would you rather stay with something that's is going to be good for the next 5-10 years, or up to like this next 5 years, or go to somewhere where it's a 90% chance you're gonna fail because you don't have the talent there.
Well, you got to say it like this: do you stay where you at for the next 5 years when you see your other counterparts do the same thing you do, and then land head coach jobs? So that's where you have to take the risk as a black man, because you have to do some icky and risky shit. You know what I'm saying? Where your counterparts are doing the same exact thing you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Relaying the offensive play to the quarterback, and they are landing head coach jobs. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, he can't get to the bottom. He's already at the bottom. If he bombs in Washington, it's no different from him staying there the next 5 years. And the Chiefs, he never get the job. All the credit goes to Andy Reid. So in this
So
position,
now he's gonna get all the blame.
he's gonna get the blame and the credit. It's gonna come.
There's no credit. There's no credit when there's no talent.
So listen, the talent that's in the Chiefs should have been enough to land him a head coaching job, and it didn't.
Of course.
So you have no other choice, Rodney. You can't ride this shit out, because it ain't gonna come to you. You have to make a move.
But that ain't the move to make, though.
But it's the only move. Listen, it's the only move that they gave him, the only opportunity.
So if my options are stay with the Chiefs or go to Washington, I'm staying with the Chiefs.
But do you want to be a head coach?
Huh?
Do you want to be a head coach?
That ain't happening for him.
So
that ain't happening for him.
I think I'm with you, Squeak. I think he believes there was no option.
Yeah.
He's like, you got me backed against the wall.
Because Ronnie, how you saying it, you leaving out that part where the other motherfuckers get these head coaching jobs. That fucks with you. That really fucks with you, because you know you're better than them. Or you at least you think you are. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting the opportunities that they get. So you got to go out here and put yourself in this situation. You don't have the talent that you had in Kansas City. It's okay. You just have to put some points on the board. You can't play. You have to produce a decent offense. Hopefully he has the tools.
But that ain't the place to do it. I agree with you. You know, in order for him to get over that hurdle and be a head coach, yeah, he gonna have to get up there on his own. But that ain't the place to go. You can ride that shit out one more year and see what comes up next year. Mm-hmm. But that's my point, is that's not the place to go, because everything's fucked up in Washington as far as from top to bottom. Everything's fucked up.
That's a fact.
So that ain't the place to go try to go cut your teeth at. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree to it.
Along with that, do y'all ever listen to Shady McCoy? Like Shady has a show.
I try not to.
Yeah, corny.
I don't really fuck with him.
Right, but you know he has some really kind of disparaging shit to say about Eric Bieniemy, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he don't know what he like, almost.
So I
gotta give Shady some credit, right? Some credibility, because you know he played at a high level. He played football at a high level for a lot of years. He was actually the highest paid running back for a while. So he played the position or played football at a high level. And he's coming out
there in Kansas City. He was there in Kansas City.
Yeah, he's with Kansas City. He's there saying like, Bieniemy ain't it. You know, he's the first guy that you heard say Bieniemy ain't it. You know, it's Andy Reid's show. I barely knew the dude was there.
I heard that.
That's some disparaging shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some disparaging shit. So
but that would show up in the interview, though.
Is this cat just can't interview? I mean,
that definitely would show up in the interview if your title, you not what your title say you are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so I don't know, man. I'm on the fence, but Rodney, when you brought the point, he can't. If he wants to head coach, he's gonna have to do something. But he did take that's a bad job.
Yeah.
He could
have easily rolled that Kansas City gravy train for one more year and just see what pops available next year, because we always know 6 or 7 jobs come up each year for his head coaching positions, and then there might be an opportunity to be an OC somewhere else. Just Washington, that just ain't the.
But I think once you win that Super Bowl, you have to strike while the iron's hot. And I think that with the Washington, what he's trying to do is just use that as leverage. I don't
But
know.
his iron ain't never hot though.
Shit, it landed him what's considered a lateral move, where in the past he never got that. He never got that type of offer. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, he did interview for head coaching positions though.
yeah, I mean, shit. Who knows if it was 5-minute interviews, 2-minute interviews? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he ever did like second or third interviews, or was coming down to like the final 2 candidates or something like that. You know?
But shit, they don't do no damn second or third interviews. They do one interview and they pick who they want.
Yeah.
They don't do no 2 or 3.
Listen, he had his back pinned against the wall, man. Like,
I mean, I've said it in previous shows. There gots to be something else going on with this dude that we don't know about.
but listen, I liked his press conference, to be honest. I thought he had good energy in the press conference. I thought he handled the head coaching question very well. You know,
That's another thing. How many new offensive coordinators do you see have press conferences?
You're right. That says a lot.
Either they're prepping him to replace Riviera with his cancer thing, or because they did a whole lot to make him say assistant head coach, in charge of the offense. They've done a lot to prop him up, and I get that because they didn't want to show it, they didn't want to make it look like a lateral move. But he got an increase in pay. He got another title, and an assistant head coach title. I don't know if they promised him that, this go good. Riviera gonna probably step down because of health. It's a lot of stuff, but what Keith just digging in my craw is just, you got a player, a player, because they all supposed to stick together, right? You got a player out there saying, "No, man, this dude ain't it." I see why he ain't coaching, so.
I didn't like that from Shady. I'm not gonna even front. I didn't like that from him.
I didn't like it either. But
that's barbershop talk that you keep. That you keep in the barbershop. Everybody know your word is bond. But you saying that on TV, man.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Keep that in house. It's Black History Month. Keep that in house.
So you saying keep it in house because it's black on black?
Yeah.
He throwing them under the bus.
I mean, what did that do? You know what I'm saying? What did that for Shady? He didn't have to do that. Like,
nah.
I guess he has to.
No, I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but I'm just answering. I'm just asking. So if you're a commentator and you get paid to give your take, and they ask you, Eric Bieniemy, okay, say it, you played under Eric Bieniemy. You was there. You was there for 3 years and played under him and saw him work. Is he head coach material? Is what's going on with him? And then you say you lie and say, oh, he's excellent, or do you give your honest opinion?
I don't think you gotta even be excellent. You can say something like, oh, he's part of a great team. I mean, I enjoyed my time in Kansas City. There are a bunch of great coaches in Kansas City. I thought, yeah, I don't know, but
that answer right there.
You keep saying he deserves a head coach job, but he took it a step further.
Well, you said your answer throws dirt on him. When you talk about he's part of a great team and there's a lot of great coaches and all that, so you can even in being politically correct, you still burying him.
I get it. I get it. I don't know how. I don't know how.
I mean, you honestly, if you don't tell the truth, then you got to lie.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to.
Yeah. So if that's true, what Shady is saying, there's a lot of players that are lying. Because Mahomes say he's the dude. Kelsey say of course they're in house.
Mm-hmm. Why would Andy Reid lie though? Like what do Andy Reid get out of trying to big him up if he really don't do shit? You know what I'm saying? Like Andy don't get nothing out of that, trying to, put it out there that he is the guy, he's the guy, you know what I'm saying? He's behind this, he's behind that. And he don't get nothing out of that. If you want to
if you're the head coach, you big up your staff because you want them. Because you do that so they can get jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going downplay. Your OC. Well, OC in name.
Mhm.
Like, oh, that motherfucker don't do shit. Shit, I'm calling the plays. He just relay that shit to Pat. I'm the man. You don't do that. So you'll be like, oh, Eric is, man, he great, man. He's an integral part of this team. He's whatever. You build him up.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm just interested just to see how, when you're a commentator, they want you to give a hot take. But if they'll take too hot, then motherfuckers will be like, "Oh man, he ain't have to say that."
right. Yeah.
It's the way you say it. It's the way you say it. So it's the same way if you were talking about an ex. You don't want it to hit so personal. It's the way you say it. We had a good time. You had a good time always together. You know what I'm saying? Wish nothing but the best.
But to that point, right? I bet these GMs and these people who are doing this research on coaching candidates, they're calling ex-players and they're asking. So I bet you they're getting a lot of real answers, off the record. You know what I'm saying? So
but shit, that can't be said because it's a bunch of these damn offensive coordinators that don't know shit when they become head coaches.
maybe they faking it until they
we
make
just
it.
saw that. We just saw that in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We looking at it again in Vegas with the Raiders.
But that Denver offensive head coach, former offensive coordinator, just got an offensive coordinator job. Just got one.
It's all about who you know.
Shit. So, God.
All right, I just want. I don't want to make this a sports podcast, but I just wanted to throw that in.
Good. We was on sports, so that was good. Thanks, Rob.
I was puzzled by that move.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right, next quick, guys, talk verses a little bit. There was a big verses announced. Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri. This could be probably one of the biggest verses of all time. Both of these are super producers. For a long time, Diddy thought that Jermaine wasn't equal competition. I don't know what changed, but all of a sudden, he was like, let's do it. I don't know. Quickly, y'all, who you got in this battle, man? Who y'all think better, Diddy or JD?
I think Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri is better.
Same here.
Now, does he have the enough hits to go toe for toe? What you got? Crisscross, the Brad. He got Ludacris with Welcome to Atlanta. I mean, I think if we didn't did some digging, we 20. Does he have 20 songs that can go up against Diddy? It's gonna be hard. Let
me ask y'all this because I really don't know this. Is Diddy like a producer? Like is he like a beat producer and all that stuff, or he more of like just a song, an executive? What is he?
I look at him as an executive producer.
He's a producer. He produced American Gangster, that entire album.
Yes, I saw that. I was doing the research for that, and I saw that. I'm like, huh? And it threw me off.
Who was that?
Diddy.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Look it up.
He produced about 8 of those songs.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. His name is on there. His name is on there.
You want to put 5 on it?
He can't produce shit. He was sitting in the studio with the producer and put his name on it, but he didn't produce anything.
Here's the killer.
Here's the thing. So when we think producers, I used to think that was the beat player, like the person that make the beat. That's not the producer at all. Now, some producers can make beats, but a producer gets a beat player, add a horn here. He puts the sounds, he puts the melody together, he puts the whole track together. He don't have to be the music man and stuff like that. That's what Diddy does. He has a sound for this. That's what he does.
He doesn't even do that much.
I'm with Jay on this one. I'm with Jay on this one.
I was looking.
When he put his touch on it, it's a rap.
For American Gangster.
Yeah.
He has producing credits on
You
either
gonna
the
put 5
song.
on it, Jay?
He got
Right.
producer
Knight.
credits on Biggie, on Locks, on all kinds of stuff he didn't produce on.
Suge
Right.
Knight
He-
is
he
the
ain't
executive,
never
Suge Knight is the executive producer on all Death Row shit.
But see, executive producer and producer are two different things. Executive producer is the budget of that
Money,
album.
right?
That's all that. That's the person writing the check for the label. That's the executive producer. They're funding this particular project. The producer is putting the musicians together. Like James Brown, he's a producer.
So if the Hitmen produced the album, they produced the song.
Right.
They the producer of the song, but you're
Right.
telling me Diddy is the producer of the song
So what
because
Diddy would do,
he
what
comes
Diddy
in and puts a hi-hat on something, or he hits a cymbal or some shit. So he's the
So
producer.
yeah, because that's called co-producing. What he would do is tell you, keep playing that, loop that back, and put the horn right here. Now, as a producer, you like, man, it sounds good right here, but when he put his touch on it, it makes it what it is. You know, that's what James Brown was doing. He was making his musicians take me to the bridge and all that shit. That's producing. That's what producing is. It's not what we thought. Just make the beat, and you know,
So what is that? If I
That's-
make the beat,
that's a beat
what is
maker.
that?
That's a beat maker.
You're a
True
beat maker.
That's a true
You make them up
musician.
with beat. Now you can make your
So
beat.
Kanye is a beat maker.
That's what he is, and he gives other artists that's in the studio with him credit on songs for their input and the sound that they bring. That's what he
You
is.
get him credit for writing his verses,
That too. Yeah, that too.
but I don't know about that other part. But okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't look at Diddy as a producer at all. He just, you know.
So
I
you
don't
think
know.
Jermaine Dupri makes all the beats? Because he don't.
He does not
You
make
don't?
all the beats, but he's
No.
made more than Diddy and wrote
Yeah,
more
I mean,
songs than Diddy.
I mean, we clearly know that no one makes all the beats.
So let's
Except
get back to
Prince
the
and
verses topic. He won't beat Diddy in no verses. By no means. He may be
Yes.
talented, but he won't beat Diddy in no verses. He may be more talented. He could write, he could rap, he may sing. Shit. But his ass ain't gonna beat Diddy. He don't have the hits.
Huge.
You
He's
don't
gonna
have
kill Diddy in the verses. Hold on before you go. He's gonna
Right.
kill Diddy in the verses sheerly by the number of people that will show up and support him and perform the songs.
Man, Jay-Z
He'll
ain't
kill
coming to
Diddy. It's a
Jay-Z ain't
landslide
coming
for
to
Jay.
perform no
He
See,
don't
I
need
thought
that. He don't need
so-
money or anything.
This is what I thought. I thought like until I start seeing like what you was explaining, Hughes,
Mhm.
about producing, I thought it would be a landslide JD. But if you just go out where he's credited as producer,
Yeah.
Diddy, it's unbelievable, man. You know, it's like
JD
all
ain't
Bad
got
Boy.
one top song that could be any of Biggie's catalog.
it's all Bad Boy, all Jodeci. It's got Jodeci shit. Like
Right.
it's stupid. I mean, it's a stupid amount of stuff that he's credited as producer on that he could. It's unreal. So until I actually just heard that and listened to you all, I thought JD would run away with it. But then as you look at these, man, Forever My Lady, like Honey, Mariah Carey song, he's producer P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a crazy amount of songs, man. Unbelievable amount of songs.
Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of shit.
Yeah, those samples sure go hard.
They do.
I mean,
But
I
you're
mean
right,
that
Squeak.
that you know, I pull an old Elder Bar sample and pretty much play it verbatim, and it's a hit. I get it.
You talking about
So-
Diddy?
Yeah,
That's what I was saying last week. It's that familiar song. It's the cheat code.
Mhm.
That's what
And
rap
this-
started off of, the cheat code.
Mhm. It
You
did.
have to grade him on that curve, though. He's not a producer. Hey, American Gangster. I just read the story. Jay-Z went to Diddy. Diddy said, I have a bunch of these soul samples. Those soul samples came from the Hitmen. Diddy didn't produce shit. He has a associate producer credit because he brought the beats to Jay-Z, but the Hitmen did it. He slapped his name on it. He did not produce anything.
So when you
Yeah.
say Hitman, what producers are you talking about? You talking about Stevie J?
Yeah, it's all the people who did
Man, get out of here. Stevie J didn't
old
do
Biggie
nothing.
stuff.
D Dot. He was
Mhm.
he's one of the hitmen.
Chucky Booker,
Yeah.
all of you know, the Puffy. I
Bet
mean,
me $5 on it.
old guys.
Bet
I
me $5 on it.
Just read it and send me $5.
Yeah, I got the album. I got the album.
So, but he is right, Jared. He is producer. He is
No, he's
getting paid as
listed.
producer.
Like I think somebody said he put a symbol. Hey, put a symbol right here. Put a horn right here. Hey, what do you think about using this song? That kind of producer. But the actual musician who makes the music is not him. He's
I
cheap.
never said he was the musician.
It's like
Right.
Irv Gotti is listed as a producer on one of DMX's biggest songs, and the guy who actually produced it came out on
Dame Grease.
I think so, and said
Yeah.
no, I think it was somebody else. It was a lesser known producer, and said basically he produced it, but he took his credit for the song. So that's the kind of producer
I
Diddy
remember
is.
seeing on the Math Hoffa show. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
seeing that.
I
know
can't
you're
remember that
talking
guy's name.
about. Oh, the guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. But I got my vote for Diddy in the verses. I think.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because he got more commercial hits, obviously. But I think we'll be surprised. Like it don't jump out at us right now, but I think JD got a lot of hits. They just don't jump out at us at this particular moment. But he got a lot. I think he got a lot.
Play it. Are they just doing songs that they produce or songs that they're featured on, or they don't have a criteria?
I don't know if the criteria is there, but you would think it's just like their best songs produced or produced or artist on, or they actually did the heavy lifting on. Because he did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, say it.
Nope. I'm good. Right, go ahead.
So I think a lot would depend on where they do it at too.
Man, they was talking about like a stadium, trying to do it like a stadium.
I think they're doing it in Atlanta.
Well, see, that's an unfair advantage. If they're doing it in Atlanta,
it's got to be like LA to be neutral.
Yeah, you got to do somewhere neutral. You can't do New York. You can't do Atlanta. It got to be somewhere neutral, because if you do it in Atlanta, that crowd gonna give you more energy for JD.
Nah.
When JD brings out Usher, he's gonna burn down about 6 of Diddy songs off the top.
They do Welcome to Atlanta in Atlanta.
Yeah,
that shit's over.
That's all he got. That's all he got, man. You got to understand. Diddy been down to Atlanta breaking bread with the guys, man.
Oh,
he called himself like the king of Atlanta.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Hey, what about
that's not gonna overshadow someone that's from there. I get Diddy did a lot of business in Atlanta, but he ain't Atlanta.
He ain't got no hits with other than Ludacris. JD don't have no hits with none of them Atlanta artists. He ain't got no hits with Outkast, Goody Mob, none of them Atlanta artists.
Franchise boys.
Yeah, got him a white tee. He'll bring that out.
Yeah.
That's
Bone Crusher remix.
No. What's the white tee and what's the other one? The Franchise Boys had. Oh, I think they like me.
They like.
Oh, I think they like me.
They play that in Atlanta. It's a rap.
You don't think Atlanta like All About the Benjamins?
No, not like JD songs.
Fuck no. Fuck no, man.
Then he gonna bring out all them old 70s fucking samples and be looking stupid.
I think he can beat him, man.
Like Diddy gonna have to make amends with a lot of them motherfuckers on Bad Boy in order to make this thing work. Because now if he bring out Mace on some shit, that'll kind of swing things back in his direction. Cause I think JD can bring out a bunch of motherfuckers.
He can bring out everybody he's ever worked with, except the young man from Criss Cross that passed away.
Right.
But didn't Diddy do the Bad Boy tour last year? Or the year before that or something?
It wasn't last year. I mean, they did a Bad Boy tour, but
he should be in good standards.
We'll see.
Total
We'll
out
see,
there.
because everybody talk about this dude like he the devil, but you know,
They show up
We'll
for
see.
their reunion concert check though.
right?
I need a check.
Yeah. You know, Diddy was on like Rick Ross shit, man. He's just he's everywhere, man. He on a lot of shit.
Hey, he the one who helped the Locks. He the one who helped the Locks go at Dipset.
Mm-hmm.
He from Harlem.
He did what?
He the one helped the Locks go at Dipset.
What you mean?
He
So,
produced some beats.
No, he was telling them he put the boog in them in their ear to do those for Jada Kiss to do those freestyles.
Oh,
Like,
word.
Add that to your delivery. Shit, that's what brought the house down. That's what brought that damn house down. Yeah, you go back and look at it. That's what brought the house down.
Oh my God.
He counted Cameron New York song with Ja Rule's New York song.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
I mean, so when is this gonna happen?
They haven't announced a day for it yet.
Okay.
But they say it's coming. They're trying to figure out, I think, a venue for it. But they talking like it's gonna be the biggest venue. They talking like a stadium. They talking like Super Bowl size. I mean, it was just like silly what was coming out.
So are these the two? Is there another pairing of producers that could top this one? Because what we've had Swiss versus Timbaland, right? That's the only other one, right?
Which they should redo. I think which I think they should redo.
They had about 2 or 3 battles said.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they
On
did
Versus?
one.
Not on a big scale though.
Yeah, I'm talking about Dre. They was at a concert DJing and shit.
Yeah, but that was early on before they kind of fixed the format. But you're right.
So is there another pairing of producers that could top the Diddy?
You know the answer.
Matchup?
You know the answer, right? You know the answer, but he won't do it. It's Dre and whoever else, Timbaland or somebody.
Premier. What do you think about that one? Primo versus Dr. Dre.
He don't have the hits for Dr.
That's
Dre.
a land, yeah. Premier's too underground.
Yeah, he don't have the hits for Dr. Dre. He can make a beat, but he don't have the hits.
Mm.
Okay. Like Timbaland can beat Dr. Dre in the verses.
No, sir.
Hits.
Timbaland can beat Dr. Dre?
No, sir.
Timbaland got more hits than Dr. Dre.
No.
Dr. Dre probably make better beats, but Timbaland got more like hits.
I would go the opposite direction. I think Timbaland's a better beat maker. Matter of fact, I know he's a better beat maker.
And he got more #1 hits.
He's a better beat maker, but okay. So what are Dre's hits?
Go ahead, list them out.
Are Dre's hits, or most of his hits come with Eminem and 50 and in that era, or is it the pre, the NWA era? Where did his hits come?
You're gonna go Mary J. You're going Snoop. If it were to happen, you're gonna hear some NWA stuff.
But he never produced no #1 for Snoop.
They don't have to be #1. Just recognizable big songs. They don't have to be #1 or on the on magazines. I know you use that as your test.
So he can bring out Mary J. for Family Affair.
He can bring Game.
He can bring Game.
On good terms.
He can bring 50. He can bring Eminem, obviously.
He can pop one.
He probably could do 20 without even playing an NWA song.
Yeah. DOC, you can get him, play a song, play Ice Cube, a song. What's that song with Ice Cube they did back in the day?
Natural Born Killer?
Yeah, Am I Illa than it? Yeah. Tupac songs. Yeah, kill Timbaland.
So there is no other producer there's no producer that could go head up with Dre. Is that what I'm hearing?
I would think Kanye.
Oh.
I would think Kanye versus Dr. Dre would be an amazing battle.
I forget about Kanye.
I can agree with that.
I forget about Kanye.
That's a good one.
Kanye and Dre, that would be
Yeah. I mean, but not even talking about the number of hits and figuring out which one. Just Kanye versus Dr. Dre in the verses, that would be the biggest verses in the history of the series.
Agreed.
I think so.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you get Kanye to do it with almost anybody that's on his level because they've been talking about like Drake and Kanye, the ultimate kind of verses.
Diddy and Kanye would be a great versus.
Yeah.
Mm.
I agree. Kanye, man, that dude.
Kanye got a good catalog.
Kanye just.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to think because you don't want to get people that where it's cross contaminated, where they got the same people.
Artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want kind of different.
But that's what you want to do, though. You like, okay, we going to the J catalog. You play your best J record. I'm gonna play my best J record, and you see which one hit the most. Like in the Dipset and Locks, you know, when the Locks when Dipset came with the Jay-Z New York record, place went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Locks loaded up that, you know what I'm saying, that Ja Rule New York shit, it just changed the game right there. So yeah, that's a good part to add, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I think Kanye may be the only person that don't have an equal at versus. I think in my mind,
I would agree.
He may be the only person that don't have a equal.
I think he could be.
Wait.
JD.
Who?
JD.
Kanye. You say Kanye doesn't have an equal in
a versus arena. I don't think.
As far as beats or overall,
every overall.
Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
Jay would never do verses.
We know he'll never do it.
Just theory. In theory.
Yeah, I know he'll never do it.
In
theory. Dre's never gonna do it. But he said Kanye doesn't have a match. Yeah, he do.
yeah, that's a match. That's a match. That'd be a great match. Great match in a versus format. Yeah.
He would lose. I mean, Kanye would lose.
I don't know about that.
He would.
It depends on what Jay picked. My first song.
Huh?
The Kanye produced song. My first song. If he picked that shit.
Jay could damn near win the motherfucker without even getting to, you know, American Gangster. Like he doesn't have to go that far, and he could win.
Nah, this ain't Gucci.
Like he could damn near stop at Blueprint and win.
This ain't Gucci, where Jeezy played one album and be Gucci.
But see, the thing about it, he got so many features that he wouldn't have to necessarily go deep in his catalog.
Are you talking about Jay-Z?
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. This versus interesting. You know, Diddy called out Dr. Dre for the longest, and Dr. Dre was like, "Man," he called out like he wouldn't do Jermaine Dupri. Y'all ever heard about that? He wouldn't do. They was beefing a little bit because he said that Jermaine Dupri didn't have enough hits to even be. So I think
he did a diss song. Him and Eminem did a diss song with Jermaine Dupri.
Who? Diddy?
No, Dr. Dre and Eminem.
They
did a song on Eminem's album dissing Jermaine Dupri.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But shit, we talk about Diddy. Yeah, Dre fall in that same category. That motherfucker, he kind of like motherfuckers. Everybody else do the beat, and he come in and he add a little bit here, add a little bit there. He sprinkle, he sprinkle a little bit, and everybody say it's him. So he in that same category.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
That's why I say I think Timbaland is a true beat maker, a true producer. Like he making the beat, he crafting it, he doing the whole thing. He ain't coming in at the 23rd hour, adding something here and like, all right, now it's ready.
I think Pharrell does the same thing too, though.
Pharrell.
You think he does what?
I think he'll be a good producer.
Yeah, make a beat.
Like I think Timbaland has them like create beats. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't hear his beats nowhere. You know, they're pretty authentic to him.
They're not samples.
Yeah, right. He make them authentic beats. That'd be good, man. That'd be good. All right, gentlemen. I think we done did enough about that. I'm sure that'll come more on more podcasts as they start to ramp up this verses. Boys, Black History Month will be ending in a couple of days, so I thought it'd be just a nice topic for us to kind of talk about. You know, just something Black history related. You know, as I kind of thought about Black history overall, you know, we just dope, man. We just a dope people. We do a lot of stuff. We do a lot of stuff that contributed to the building of the United States. But I know there are some people who get overlooked, and I just kind of wanted you all to just kind of just share somebody you may have thought as you learned coming up in school, as you learn through just speaking with other people. Is there anybody that you think that gets overlooked? You know, because you hear, the Martin Luther Kings, the Rosa Parks, those type. You kind of hear those names, and they should be heard because they contributed a lot to what we are today. But is there anybody you guys think that gets a little overlooked when we talk about Black history?
I do. Let me lead this off. I had to look his name up. Give you guys a chance to think about it. I heard this. I don't know if you guys listen to the comedian Godfrey's podcast, or probably his podcast more than his stand-up. But he's big into Black history, Black facts. And he said something I never knew. But this thing we're talking on, these microphones were invented by a Black man. His name is James West. I hope I say this right. He's a inventor and acoustician, however you say that. 250 U.S. and foreign patents, but a Black man invented the microphone. So yeah, I would never have even known that if I didn't hear Godfrey say that.
That's so dope.
Yep.
So dope. I'm gonna go. So this is a person y'all clearly have heard of before, but I just didn't realize how deep this dude is, man, or how instrumental he was into just Black people coming to be. It's Frederick Douglass, and I know everybody knows who Frederick Douglass is, but y'all realize that Frederick Douglass was he's the reason that there's basically a Black History Month.
Yep.
Because his birthday is February, right?
Yeah, his birthday, and it was a birthday he gave himself because he was a slave. He broke away from slavery, became one of the greatest abolitionists of all time, but he gave himself February 14th as a birthday. And when they were thinking about Black History or Negro History Week, they used his example as birthday and Abraham Lincoln's birthday as the way they should start it. So that was something dope I didn't know. I also found out he was the most photographed African American in the 1800s. He intentionally didn't smile on any picture that he was ever photographed in because he didn't want a narrative going across the of the world of we're just a happy slaves. He wanted everybody to know, pissed off about it. It was serious. So he never wanted to smile on any one of his pictures. He was the first Black person to receive a presidential vote in 1888. I mean, this dude, and there's some stuff that, they grazed by when we were coming up in our history book. But man, I just took a deep dive in him. That dude, man, he's unbelievable. He's published so many books, and I'm gonna make it a point to go out and grab one of his books and try to read it. I know it's a little tough, back then the writing was a little tough, but I'm gonna go out and try to read it. But that was one I wanted to talk to you guys about. Also, an honorable mention. we talk about, Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier. There was a lady by the name of Mamie Johnson who was the first. She was in the Negro League. She was actually in the Negro League. She's the first woman in the Negro League. So not only she was a black person, but she was a black woman to play in the Negro Leagues as a pitcher. And I just thought that was dope, man. So there's a couple things I was just kind of, as Black History Month ends, I wanted to kind of talk about. Who else got somebody?
I got two people. I'm going to go next. So my first guy is Reginald Lewis. You rarely hear about his name, and you rarely, hear about who he is. He's like the first black billionaire. Had TLC, Patrice Food, International Foods deal and stuff like that. I think this date back to the 80s and stuff like that. The other person I have is a woman by the name of Annie Malone. First black millionaire. We didn't learn that in school. You know what I'm saying? Her business, her entrepreneurial spirit, how she went about doing her business cash basically. When we grew up, we knew about Avon, but Avon had that style from her. You know what I'm saying? She solved a problem in United States about black women hair and stuff like that. High school dropout, 11th grade education. And she built the plant that was directly across from Sumner High School, which is her Provo College. My mom, yearbook that she had from Sumner when she graduated in, I think, 1965, it showed that Provo College, but it was boarded up. So when I used to ask about it, when they was coming up as kids, they didn't know what that building represent, you know what I'm saying? Because it was boarded up, by the time that they was walking the halls of Sumner and stuff like that. So our times of attending Sumner, the building was knocked down and it was rebuilt with the James House, as we know, and stuff like that. So those are my two African Americans that I feel like really get talked about: Reginald L. Lewis and Annie Malone.
Awesome.
Okay. I gotta admit, I failed this homework assignment. But just off the top of my head, I would go with James Baldwin. Like he was never someone that was really discussed, in school, but just in my, in the last few years, I've really become familiar with, who he was, his writings, novels and whatnot, and just his activism mostly. And it was he's an interesting cat, and to be, and the fact that he was gay, but that was like really never something that anybody even tripped off of, like, because what he spoke the truth.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke to what black people's frustrations were so much to where people didn't even care that he was gay, and he never really even addressed it. He never came out and said he was gay. He never said he wasn't, because it didn't matter in his eyes. It didn't matter. So I'm finding myself trying to go back and, like, I do a lot of searching on YouTube, and he did a lot of interviews back in the day, and I'm gonna try to pick up some of his novels and just try to just get another understanding of who he was. But just his activism, he was that dude in the 50s, and during that time, right alongside Martin Luther King.
Nice.
Have you seen that documentary on him, I'm Not Your Negro?
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's great.
I think I started watching, but I didn't finish it. But now that you
great.
bring it up, I'm gonna finish that. But yeah, James Baldwin, I would say he was one that I think it's overlooked.
Rodney, that's a good one, man. He's a great speaker, just very, what's the word I'm looking for? I had the word, very articulate person, very a lot of charisma. Just watching him speak, very intelligent. That's a real good one.
And he very articulate, and he blunt.
Yeah.
He blunt, like nah, this shit ain't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do something different, But yeah, I'm definitely gotta get, I'm gonna do my homework on him.
Awesome. All right, boys. Well, let's come to the end of the show. Swerp of the week.
I ain't got a swerp of the week.
Swerp of the week. That's at number 6 at What Good on TV. That's going to be reserved for our next pod. We're going to come up with some shows that we're watching now.
Let me give you a quick number 6, so maybe you guys can check it out between now and then. The Consultant. It's on Amazon Live. Check it out. It's a good show.
Awesome. Perfect. Going to the last topic. We're going to end it with Swerp of the week. Who want to start off?
Swerp of the week. Let me take it first. First swerp of the week is Diddy. You are not a producer. You're stealing people's credit, stealing people's masters and songs. You shouldn't have had Fat Boy Biggie in LA looking like you're out there celebrating Tupac passing away. You made a horrible mistake going back to Cali. You probably got your name on it as a producer, and you know you didn't produce that either. So swerp of the week is Diddy.
Diddy, first swerp of the week. Hughes, what you got?
Man, I ain't got one this week, so maybe I'm the swerp of the week. I don't have one this week.
All right, no swerp of the week. What about you, Albert?
I'm gonna go NBA for having Karl Malone in a part of the All-Star festivities.
Yes. Yeah.
That was, you could have had John Stockton, you could have had Jeff Hornacek, Mark Eaton. Not that he did. But not Karl Malone.
Karl Malone, wow.
Huh?
Wow.
You say why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Why not? I don't understand why.
Well, he's a piece of shit. To start off, but he got a 12-year-old pregnant. 12. She was either 12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Get the F out of here. I didn't know that. Okay.
He got when he was at Louisiana Tech, he got a 12 or 13-year-old girl pregnant. He's a piece of shit to his kids. Like, he didn't acknowledge his son damn near till the son was 25, 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He had another daughter that played in she played at his alma mater, if I'm not mistaken, that he didn't really acknowledge. But then I think they made it to the Final Four one year, and then he just showed up and supporting all that shit. So he's just a piece of shit overall. And we all know that, I mean, the Magic thing, maybe I could kind of see where he was coming from during that time. We really didn't know, we weren't informed as to how you can get it and all that shit, but he kind of was a piece of shit for the whole Magic thing too. So long story short, NBA swerp of the week for having him involved in any kind of all-star activities.
Okay, that's good.
My swerp of the week. It was funny. I was in Mexico last week, and we met a couple from Green Bay, and my swerp of the week is Aaron Rodgers. And not only are we sick of Aaron Rodgers, man, but people in Green Bay, they sick of this dude, man. They sick of this cat. They want him gone like yesterday, man. This latest thing where he spent a few days in this darkness retreat in this little house or this little cabinet underneath the ground. He's going to come out and let the Packers know, is he playing? Am I not playing? Man, everybody's so fed up. I thought it was just us, the outside looking in, but man, after talking with these people from Green Bay, they hate this dude, man. They ready for this cat to go.
But he doing the same thing that Brett Favre did, though.
That's a fact.
I guess so.
Because Brett Favre he wasn't going to darkness retreats, but he was, last minute. I'm gonna play. I ain't gonna play. That type of deal. So,
but wasn't at least Brett Favre like winning at the end? Was he winning? I can't remember. Was he winning with the Packers at the end before he?
Winning is making the playoffs. They were making the playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah. I mean, he was. He was super competitive, but. Dude, they are ready to get this cat out of here. They like leave, man. They like ready saying leave. And this dude just playing everybody. So after hearing these, and there was a few people at the resort that was from Green Bay. So after hearing that, Aaron Rodgers is my swerve of the week. All right, boys, that's the show. That's episode 34 of the Pod Deep Podcast. Please like, follow, and subscribe everywhere that you can get your podcast. For that, guys, let's say good night. We out.
Peace.